What should you do if ICE stops you? Well, number one, and the most important thing to remember, is remain silent. You do not have to answer any of their questions. You are not obligated to answer any of their questions. Exercise your right to remain silent. Number two, do not sign anything. Sometimes the officers will pretend to be your friend, act buddy-buddy, and convince you to sign a document when in actuality you might just be self-deporting yourself. So do not sign any paperwork. Number three, call your lawyer if you have one. Let them know what's going on. Maybe there's something they can do, something they can tell you to help you in this situation. Number four, do not lie. If you lie and say you're a US citizen or a green card holder and you're not, that is like the kiss of death in immigration. They are going to use that against you big time. There are some other things to keep in mind, that if you have children that are in school, you're going to want to let the school know that there's an emergency contact number they can call, someone you trust. Give the school the authority to release your kids to this other person who you trust, just in case something does happen. Also, let your friends and family know that they can go online and there's an ICE detainee tool online where they can look you up to find exactly where you are. The other thing is, you might not have access to your cell phone if you do get taken. So it's really important that you memorize certain phone numbers of people that you need to call in these situations. What happens if ICE comes to your door? Well, you don't have to open it. Sometimes they'll show you a piece of paper that looks like a warrant, but it's not really a warrant because it's just signed by another ICE officer, like a higher up. The only time they can search your home is if they have a warrant signed by a judge, which is not that easy to get. The other thing too is, what happens if you're in your car and they stop you? Well, in that situation, they're going to ask you your name. You can give them your name, but again, after that, you don't have to answer any of their questions. But of course, you want to make sure that the officer feels safe, that they don't feel threatened, because that could become a danger to you in that situation. So these are some things to keep in mind. I think probably the two most important things to take away from this is remain silent and memorize phone numbers of people that you may need to call. Because if you do end up in detention, you might not have access to your cell phone, but you will get access to a phone. You need to have those numbers to be able to call the people you need to call. So if you have questions about this, if you'd like a consultation about your case, you can use the links in my bio to schedule one. I would be more than happy to discuss your case with you one-on-one.